And we are live. Thank you very much for joining again at JFP TV. We have a special guest today, Mundia Moola Büsser from MMB Lifestyle. She comes from Sargans and is visiting Basel. We hope you like this episode of JFP TV. Don't forget to subscribe, to follow our channels, and see you in a bit. All right, my girl, we have done it. We have found the time to actually meet each other after so long time.
Finally.
How are you?
I am doing absolutely amazing, Fabi. It's so good to see you again after such a long time.
Yeah, we met, like, when was the last time? Like, in between the whole situation, you came for a coffee?
Gosh, I think it was in April or May.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I lost my hair since then, so...
Yeah, you have a new haircut, it looks
everything
good.
else is still the same. But for you, things changed. So tell us right now, what changed? I mean, you have a logo on the chest, I see. Tell us about that. What's that?
Well, actually, a lot of things have happened this year. So maybe just to give a bit of a background of the things that have been happening. So fitness and health has been a passion of mine for many years. And I was always looking for ways or opportunities of how I can share that with people more. And so, when lockdown hit, everybody was kind of forced to stay at home, spend a lot of time, either on their own or with their families or whomever. And I thought to myself, what can I do? I can do a little bit more around the health and fitness space, especially when it comes to producing content online. And so I had a couple of weeks actually to myself. And so I used the time to think about how I can build a message around fitness and health and share that more. So, with that, I kind of started MMB Lifestyle. And basically, the whole purpose of MMB Lifestyle is to connect with, inspire, and empower people to live more fulfilled lives through fitness. And so that's the basis on which I kind of want to share the content around MMB Lifestyle and its beginnings.
That sounds amazing. I mean, where can I subscribe?
We'll talk about that later.
But you started not this year. You started like with that whole personal training, coaching thing like last year, step by step. So this year you just gave full into it, and now things happened.
Yeah.
Well, what can you tell us, because we won't spoil anything?
Sure, absolutely. It actually started many years ago. Many years ago. I've always been to health and fitness. I mean, I can remember being a teenager and actually going to the gym with my mom during school holidays. So during the school holidays, I would hang out mornings or so with my mom, and we would go to the gym together. And even at school, I was very active when it came to activities outdoors and swimming and things like that. So it's always been a part of me. And kind of like when I ventured so after university, I got into the corporate world, and health and fitness really helped me cope with a lot of the demand. I also became a mom, my husband and I grew our family and things like that. And so fitness and health has always been part of my life. And so with this year, when COVID hit, there was a lot of time spent reflecting on the things that I'm doing, the things that I want to pursue, the things that I want to share, and things like that. And this was one of the topics for me that is really close and near and dear to my heart. And so I decided, Mundia, with everything that's gone on this year, if you have certain goals, if you have certain goals and ambitions around this topic, now's the chance, go for it.
Which is not the thing for everyone. I mean, there were a lot of people who just stopped doing anything and was just frustrated, but I think you flourished in this week's a lot. I mean, I saw you on social media, you went outdoor training at home, you built up a little gym equipment there. And also your kids, I mean, your kids and you have had a lot of time together, so you did the best of it. And I think that reflects on what you're saying, your philosophy of whole MMB lifestyle. So you're not only a coach for better shape, you're a better coach for a better life. So that's what I'm hearing about that.
Absolutely. And the way people respond to different situations is really individual. And there's a quote that I really love to share and to remind myself of by James Allen, and he says that circumstances do not create the man, they reveal him to himself. So whenever you're faced with a situation, whether it's challenging, And the way you respond to that situation tells a lot about, about yourself. And maybe it's also an opportunity. It reveals your weaknesses, and things that you can work on. And for me, this year revealed so many, weaknesses or areas that I need to work on. But it also gave me that motivation to actually to work on them and take steps towards, things that I wanted to do. And you mentioned my daughters as well. So my husband and I have 2 daughters, and they are amazing, 6-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. And they're watching everything that we are doing. So
I saw many kids, but your daughters are so cool. I know the little one since she was like really fresh out. And how do you accomplish that? I mean, you're a businesswoman, you're a mom, and now you're a coach, and your kids are motivating you.
They do as well. They motivate me a lot. And also a lot of the motivation comes from within, because at the end of the day, I do have all these different roles, but I'm also an individual. And on my own, regardless of the different roles that I have, I do have certain hopes and ambitions and desires for my own self that I want to achieve in my life, right? And I believe that when we pursue those desires, by us pursuing them, we never know who we're inspiring, you never know who's watching. And for me, I always think my daughters are watching. Mm-hmm. They're watching. My husband is watching. And so that encourages.
I'm watching also.
Exactly. You're watching, you're my coach. So you're watching. And
well,
so
I was. Now you're the coach.
And so I just want to continue pursuing that, because you never know through your actions or what you say and your words, how much you're inspiring people to keep going.
This is a very cool and interesting topic. I'm certain you are also realizing a lot of young trainers think that only when you have 10,000 of followers or 10,000 of subscribers on YouTube, then you do an impact in the world. But as I know you started humble. You started like with a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of passion in your vloggings. I saw your vloggings. We will put also the YouTube channel later on to also follow her. And I saw then that you have like this professionality brought to you, like just, hey, look at my life. This is my private life, your competition preparation and everything. And what's really cool is the authenticity, and that impacts me, impacts a lot of other people. And it doesn't actually matter if you are starting with 10,000 followers or whatever. It comes by time, which is, you won't like change yourself. Then when you all of a sudden have 100,000 followers, you started exactly the same. And then it happened that more people are following you. But the impact is still the same. If it's 1 person, 2 person, 2,000 person.
Yeah.
Which is, how you handle that? How was your vision for that?
I mean, I think when it comes to impact and followers and things like that. So for me, it's not about the followers. I want to be able to provide value to the people that feel that I can provide value to them. And if that's to 1 person, I will give the same amount of effort to whether it's 10,000 people. I mean, of course, this is now if you talk social media, but on an impact level, I will give my best to 1 person that believes in me. And it's what you put out there, is it adding value to people's life, regardless of the amount of, followership is a bonus. If you have, loads of followers, that's a bonus. Even 1 follower is a bonus. What's more important is, what is the message that you're putting out there? What are you putting out there? Because we also have a responsibility, anybody who's publishing anything on social media, you never know who's listening once again, and your words have an impact on people's lives. And so I think of, even if I had 1 follower, I'm thinking of the impact on that person's life. And I would like it to be in a positive way, in some way. Make them feel happier, make them feel more hopeful.
Yeah. And also bringing them value. That's what I like about you, and also about all trainers we will have in this trainer talk, which is today the first episode.
Thank you.
You try your best to putting your channels, your like platforms, in the best use possible. You were one of a little group which didn't use the social media during the COVID situation to tell bad things, negative things, or annoy people with your thoughts, with your skepticism or whatever. You just bring the optimism to a next level. You were optimistic, you were like positive, bringing people value. So that's the role of a coach, and that's why I really respect you for what you're doing right now. As you mentioned, I started up as your coach, but
You still are, right? You still are.
I give my best. But the thing is, the role of a coach never stops by just I was for your first competition. I'm really happy that I could help you. But the role of a coach is never stopping. You found your spot, you found your niche, and now it's flourishing. Now you're more and more in a business world, more and more in providing use for business people, not only just personal training. So how did you find your can I say niche or your
I think I know
position?
what you wanna say. So I think it goes down to this basics. So I believe each and every person has something unique to offer. And sometimes we forget this. So I like to even remind, my clients as well that I train, I remind them and say, even my daughters as well, I say, do you know that there is nobody on this earth like you? Even if you have a twin or so, there is nobody else that has the ability to bring what you can bring, an idea that you may have, a certain vision that you may have. There's nobody on this earth that like you. And that fact alone should allow us to continue sharing things that feel true to us. And for me, I had a kind of, it was challenging for me to express that. And it's so funny when people, if you tell me that I, can express myself quite well, I actually had to get help. I went to actually a public speaking course. Mm-hmm. There was an amazing lady that I'm really close to, a friend of mine that offered a public speaking course. And I went to it for it was like a workshop, and it really helped me a lot. And so, things like that, and helping to just be able to bring your message across in a clearer manner.
Find the right words.
Exactly, because everybody, you have that feeling, you have that desire, you want to express yourself, but you don't always know how to do it. And so once you figure out how to do that, then go on and keep sharing what you're sharing, because your ideas are new and fresh and they're innovative. As
and you everybody have to believe in yourself that you can do that.
Absolutely. And that takes time even to build that own self-belief, because the worst thing, or one of the challenges that we face is the doubt that we have in our own heads. And that inner critic, I always say, speaks to us the loudest, because that critic is in our heads. It's with us every single day. Every time we try to do something and it doesn't succeed, that voice becomes louder. And I always say, your inner critic has two voices. There's the louder voice, and the voice that's not so positive. Yeah. And you need to turn the volume down on the voice that's not so positive and turn it up on the one that's positive. And whichever voice you listen to is the one that impacts you a lot in terms of what you do and the steps you take. So I've been trying to turn up the volume on the more positive side lately.
It's unbelievable. I mean, one of the topics which you right now a little bit talking about is like this disbelief, self-doubt, fear of like losing or not being able to be professional as you wish. The same topics we discussed with Nuno last Friday in our other podcast.
Yeah, Nuno's amazing. I was watching that. Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to see you in the next episode.
Very charismatic.
He is fantastic.
Yeah. I have to also have an accent like him because it makes you really charismatic. No, but what he was talking about was like exactly what you said. Everyone has this doubt, but you have to use it like, okay, a little bit perfectionism is good, but not too much, because then you don't do anything.
You won't do anything, absolutely.
How comes that you had this belief in yourself, and also your open mind that you said, okay, I'm lacking in skill in talking to a public crowd. I will get help, or I will get coached, or I will visit a workshop. Because a lot of people underestimate their talents and overestimate their talents in ideas. Okay, yeah. For example, creativity is good, but creativity is not like painting everything a mess. Creativity is actually bringing value to the market or to people. So this differentiation, correct me later. Anyway, to differentiate that is also a good habit, but also to be very, very truthful to yourself and say, okay, these are my limitations. On that I have to work till then I will provide like good content on social media. Yeah. So this, I think this comes a lot from your parents, from where you were born, from how you were raised. Yeah. Because it doesn't come just like from a decision. Otherwise, there would be tons of Mundias out there.
I think it comes from two things. It comes firstly from making that decision, And then number 2, taking action, because making a decision is just the first step. It's the very important step. However, without action, that decision is absolutely, it will not be, executed. So you need to take a decision, you need action, and then you need to execute. And I can only speak for myself in terms of how I deal with things like that. So I was one person when it came to feedback, right? I was always like, what's the word? If you get good feedback or, points for improvement, I would really think, oh gosh, this is actually, not a good thing, but it's a great thing. I love it when people give me feedback and they tell me something that I need to improve on, because if somebody's always telling me what I'm doing good, I'm like, yes, I appreciate it. That's great. Tell me what I can do to improve on that. And I remember last year, I sent out a message. So it was at the end of the year and I was deciding, okay, Mundia, what is the approach you want to take for next year? Where are you going? Where do you want to grow in terms of your career, in terms of your relationships and things like that? So I picked out a couple of people and I sent them a message and I said, okay.
I remember
it was
that.
like,
it
was like 3 questions, and I would recommend it to anybody to do this, to just find out about how you're perceived by other people, because there's how you perceive yourself and how others perceive you. And I sent out a message and it said, I asked these people, if I was an animal, what animal would it be and why? Yeah. And what things do I do, that I do well? And what things do I do that I can improve on? Just a simple question. And I sent it to a couple of people, in my, who I work with directly. I sent it to friends and things like that, which is amazing, because when you know more about yourself, and of course you need to have your own perception of yourself, but sometimes it's a little bit skewed. It's also good to hear what other people see. Mm-hmm. And at the end, you then form what you feel is allowing you to be your best self, because, there's such a wide range of options. There are some people who think that, oh, you're absolutely brilliant. You do a great job and, just keep on going. You can do nothing wrong. And there are other people who think that, you have no clue what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Now, the question is, where do you put yourself on that scale, right?
With something
where do you put
with,
yourself? Yeah. Exactly. And what do you think of yourself? And then, of course, have that awareness and keep working on yourself and and keep being true about your intentions, about your actions, and open to growing and things like that. And that's an absolute great, kind of starting point, if that helps to say, how does that build up? And then you have to do things, okay, to prove to yourself, not to anybody else, to prove to yourself that you can actually do something. You can decide on doing something, you set a goal, you stick to it, and you see it through to the end. And once you do that for yourself, you are going to set up a catalyst for a whole, kind of wave of events, because you're going to prove to your brain and to yourself that you are capable of doing something. And then you take that and apply it to all other areas.
This is the so-called momentum. The first step leads to the next step, and then you see, oh, I had success by the first step, so maybe the second step won't be so hard.
Exactly. And
which is very hard. I mean, which is very hard to accepting critique and not letting so near to you that it affects you and also like bothers you. Oh my God, I'm not well seen. I have to do that and that more. But you see it as a sport. I mean, you obviously were standing on stage, you were critiqued, you were judged, but it just showed you, okay, I'm not good at that, but I can change it, I can work on it. And you didn't take it personally when crying. I mean, you were like outstanding, in good shape, but you are now motivated to be in a better shape, maybe when your next competition will come. So I found that fascinating. This is like the success key for a lot of entrepreneurs, which you are. You're not only a coach, you're not only a businesswoman.
That is true. That is true.
So starting your new business.
And also maybe just to add, before we go on, there's a part of anybody's journey that we should realize when you're trying to make an improvement in any area of your life, that there will be obstacles on the way. There will be non-successes. I don't want to call them failures. It's just a non-success, because it's part of the process. And if you already have that in your head, knowing that it's part of the process, when it does come, you will be in a better position to deal with it. Sure, it hurts. You will get disappointed on the way. You will do something that's going to get no traction at all, or nobody will notice it. That's okay. And if you remain true to yourself and what you're doing and what you want to put out there, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how much acknowledgement you get from other people. It's more like, what acknowledgement do you give yourself and the goals that you set for yourself?
Awesome to listen to you. My girl, we are almost at the end because you have a very tight schedule today.
Oh wow, already.
But not to end it with not a good link to your homepage. We are here. You can look to the display.
Oh, cool.
This is your homepage.
Nice. Yes.
We find you at mmblifestyle.com.
That's correct. Yeah.
This is your homepage. Looks really nice. I have to update mine one.
Oh, thank you.
Shanti, if you are looking, we have to update my homepage. Now we have a role model. So if you want to keep updated for Mundia's newsletter, I almost forgot the word. Check her page out and also your YouTube channel.
Yep.
Which I can here do it on camera.
Yep. So the channel
Subscribe.
is, thank you for subscribing.
And also, yeah, that's cool.
Kind of working on putting more content up on the channel, so sharing some tutorial videos.
Yeah, I saw it. You
and
are
things like that.
already doing more and more. So, guys, don't forget exactly to do that. Huh? Subscribe, click.
Thank
put
you.
it here. So, and now to end this this podcast, it's not the last podcast we will do. Guys, let us know what would you like to ask Mundia, and also if you would like to do a live podcast, so where we can also answer right away the questions you have for her. If you want to follow her, if you want to contact her, where they can find you. You can talk right
Sure.
to the camera.
So the first place you can find me, you can go to www.mmblifestyle.com, and you can also follow the MMB Lifestyle Instagram page, mmb.lifestyle. And if you want to get in touch with me, just send me a message, DM me directly, or through the contact page. I will get back to you, and I sincerely hope that you enjoy some of the content that I share. And there's also the MMB Lifestyle podcast that you can listen to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Can
Google
only
Play.
recommend that. Yeah.
I do have a podcast as well, so I have guests that have inspired me over the past couple of years, months, and it's around the health, fitness, and personal development space. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mundia. I appreciate your visit from Sargans. I think they can find you also in Zurich and
Exactly.
Yeah, but now more than ever in online also.
Online, exactly, yeah. And I'm actually December coming up. I have some online workouts that I'm going to be offering for free. So if you go to mmblifestyle.com and you sign up for events, there's some sessions set up over Christmas. We can hang out together and train.
Awesome. Guys, I would recommend you that strongly. English. What?
Yes,
English?
it will be in English. Yeah.
Learn English. I did that also.
But you can work out in any language, so just follow the moves.
Great. Mundia, thank you for having you. You guys, I see you soon. We will do also we'll do something later, and you will be updated for that. Everything. I'll keep you updated. Till then, my friends. Where's the music? So till then, my friends, keep safe, keep healthy, and just feel powerful.
JFP